So tell us a little bit about what OFCAF is.
OFCAF is the On-Farm Climate Action Fund. It's a federally funded program by Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada that's been implemented across the country, and RDAR is the successful delivery agent in Alberta for 3 of the BMPs: nitrogen management, cover crops, and rotational grazing.
So what does this mean for producers?
It's great news for producers. I think producers are always trying to do better on their sustainability, their stewardship, as well as their greenhouse gas emissions. And this will really enable them to make those improvements quicker. We offer a cost share of 85% up to a maximum of $75,000 for each producer. And so I think there's something in each of those categories, whether you're a crop producer or a livestock producer. Hopefully, there's something in here that works for you and helps you move your farm a little more further in terms of efficiencies, environmental stewardship, and greenhouse gas emissions.
As you mentioned, producers are always trying to do better. Is there a part of the system that, in terms of better record keeping, so that things that they're already doing, keeping better track of that?
Yeah, I think that's certainly is something that we can always do better is tell our story and make a record of it. This will be quality data. So, for example, we have an activity of soil sampling and soil mapping. So obviously that will be something they track, and they'll be able to show the improvements they've made, and that they're putting the application of fertilizer where it's needed.
Excellent. And you talked about some of the things that they would learn taking this program. Can you give us some examples?
Sure. So for each of those 3 categories, we're working with Lakeland College and Olds College to put on online training programs that will really go into each of those BMPs more in depth and offer some options for producers to learn more about why they would do this and what the impacts are to their farms.
What's been uptake like? What kind of feedback have you gotten?
Well, we just launched on the 4th, and so it hasn't been that long, but it's been great. Super busy, lots of applications in our system already, and lots of interest in terms of what's eligible, how do I apply, those sorts of things. So the uptake has been really great, and it's been across all those categories. So not one is, I would say, in the lead or being asked more about. Both, all 3 of them have lots of interest.
So, if a producer is looking at the program and they're not quite as familiar with it, what kind of qualifies as something that they could submit an application for?
So a couple things. I guess I'll start on the other one, which is rotational grazing. Really, the components we look at there are fencing and the water system. Not the supply for the water system, just the distribution. So any fencing and water supply that will make them manage their grazing more intensively, or just manage it to make sure they have effective rest. So that's basic principles to any beef or livestock producer, all things they would do on a regular basis.
Fantastic. I guess, Fiona, anything you'd like to add that I haven't asked you?
I would just add that to be eligible, you have to have $25,000 of farm income in Alberta, and your operation has to be based in Alberta. But certainly visit the RDAR website and look for OFCAF, and all the information's there. We have a number of webinars coming up in the next week, and we're happy to answer any questions people have.